just launched our new website, GrimFaceOfficial.com, a place for those who refuse to live by the rules of the weak. If you're here, it means you're ready to break free from the chains of mediocrity and build a life of power, wealth, and absolute control over your destiny. But let me be clear, success isn't given, it's taken. Most people live their lives on autopilot, trapped by limiting beliefs, weak habits, and a society designed to keep them small. They wonder why success feels out of reach, why others seem to climb while they remain stuck. It's not because they're unlucky. It's not because they're not talented. It's because they never learned the rules. The ultra-wealthy, the power players, the people who shape reality itself, they play by a different set of rules. Rules that aren't taught in school. Rules that aren't handed out in everyday conversations. Rules that separate those who take control from those who spend their lives watching from the sidelines. But today, you get the blueprint. Over the next 10 lessons, you're going to learn the Billionaire's playbook, the mindset, habits, and actions that turn ordinary people into unstoppable forces. If you're ready to make the shift, to stop being a spectator in your own life and start dominating every room you walk into, then listen closely. Because once you learn these rules, nothing will ever be the same again. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Ditch the old you. Have you ever wondered why you're stuck? Why success seems like something that happens to other people, but never to you? It's not because the world is against you. It's not because you weren't born with talent or the right opportunities. It's because you're still carrying the weight of the person who got you here. The version of you that's broke, lost, undisciplined, uncertain, drowning in bad habits and weak excuses. That version of you is not built for success. That version of you is built for survival. And let me tell you something. Survival is the enemy of greatness. You will never reach the life you want by dragging along the version of you that created the life you have. That version of you is comfortable. That version of you hesitates. That version of you clings to safety, routine, and the illusion of stability. But success doesn't tolerate weakness. It doesn't entertain excuses. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Success demands a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is the old you. If you want to step into wealth, power, influence, if you want to be the kind of person who bends reality to their will, then you must kill off the version of yourself that's holding you back. You must burn the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. Let me ask you something. What daily habits are keeping you small? What mindsets are keeping you broke? Who in your life is draining your energy, feeding your self-doubt, and keeping you anchored to mediocrity? It's time to cut the dead weight. Billionaires don't cling to the past. They don't carry useless baggage. They adapt, evolve, and outgrow anything that slows them down. And if you want to join them at the top, you must do the same. This is where most people fail. They want wealth, but they don't want to let go of their scarcity mindset. They want freedom, but they're too afraid to break from their safe, predictable patterns. They want power, but they refuse to take control of their own thoughts, actions, and beliefs. But that's not you. Because today, you make a choice. You either stay the same, playing small, making excuses, and watching the days slip through your fingers, or you step into your power. You destroy the old you. You eliminate every habit, every belief, every relationship that isn't aligned with the person you're becoming. You rewire your mind to expect success, not just wish for it. You walk away from comfort, from hesitation, from the life that's been suffocating you. Because the moment you do that, the moment you burn the past to the ground, success becomes inevitable. So ask yourself, who will you be tomorrow? The same version of you that's struggling, or the version of you that creates their own destiny? Make your choice. Because no one's coming to save you. You either evolve or you stay stuck. But if you're serious, if you're ruthless about your future, you already know what needs to be done. So don't wait. Ditch the old you and watch what happens next. Lesson 2. Be your own biggest fan. Look around you. Who believes in you? Who truly sees the fire inside you? The potential? The power? Chances are, no one. And that's where most people break. They wait. They hesitate. They crave validation, approval, permission. Like success is something they need to be invited into. But let me tell you the truth. No one is coming. No one is going to wake up one day and hand you the life you want. No one is going to believe in you before you believe in yourself. No one is going to see your vision before you make it a reality. And that's where weak minds fold. They second-guess themselves. They let doubt take root. They hesitate. They stall. And they let their dreams slip through their fingers because they can't stand in front of the mirror and say, I am built for this. But let me tell you something about billionaires. They aren't born into certainty. They create it. Before the money, before the power, before the empire, they believed. They didn't wait for the world to tell them they were worth millions. They decided. And that's exactly what you must do. If you don't believe in yourself, why the hell would anyone else? Why would investors, clients, partners, or even life itself bet on someone who can't even bet on themselves? You must become your own biggest fan. You must carry an unshakable belief that you can figure it out, that you will win, that no matter what obstacles, setbacks, or failures come your way, you will not break. Because here's the truth. Doubt is the silent killer of success. Every time you hesitate, every time you question yourself, every time you let fear creep in, you are training yourself to fail. And you can't afford that anymore. Starting now, you move differently. You stop explaining yourself. You stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for someone to believe in your vision. Because you are the vision. From today forward, every action you take must be backed by certainty, not arrogance, conviction. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly how you'll get there. But you must know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you will. So here's your challenge. Stop waiting for someone to validate your greatness. Stop looking for proof that you're worthy. Decide, right now. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am unstoppable. I am relentless. I am built for success. I will win, because I refuse to accept anything less. And once you believe that at your core, everything changes. Lesson 3. Welcome hardships. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain. They dodge discomfort, sidestep struggle, and pray for an easy path to success. And that's exactly why they stay weak. That's exactly why they stay stuck. Because the truth that the weak refuse to face, is that hardship is the price of greatness. Look at any billionaire, any titan, any force of power in this world. Do you think they got there by taking the easy road? Do you think they rose to the top by running from struggle? No. They ran toward it. They welcomed it. Because they understood something that most people will never grasp. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the reward. Every obstacle, every failure, every moment of doubt. These are not signs that you should quit. They are the test. They are the rite of passage. The world is asking you one question. How bad do you want it? Because success doesn't come to those who wish for it. It comes to those who are forged in the fire. Most people crack under pressure. They fall apart when things get tough. They complain, they break, they beg for relief. But the few, the elite, They thrive under pressure. They don't pray for smaller problems. They pray for the strength to handle bigger ones. They don't wish for an easier path. They become stronger warriors. And that is exactly what you must do. Because here's the brutal truth. Your dreams are massive. And the challenges ahead of you, they will be just as massive. So the question is, will you push through? Or will you fold when it gets tough? Will you crumble like the rest? Or will you step up and claim what's yours? You want wealth? You want power? You want absolute control over your life? Then earn it. Don't run from the pain. Use it. Don't hide from the struggle. Embrace it. Don't look for the easy way out. Build yourself into the kind of person who doesn't need one. Because once you welcome hardship, once you stop fearing the struggle and start seeing it as the path to your highest self, nothing can break you. And when nothing can break you, nothing can stop you. Lesson 4. Become addicted to progress. Most people dream of success, but they never move. They talk about their goals. They fantasize about wealth, power, and freedom. But when it comes time to take action, they freeze. They overthink. They wait for motivation to strike, like success is some mystical force that just arrives one day. But the truth? Success isn't a lightning bolt. It's a grind. It's a slow, relentless force that builds one decision at a time, one step at a time, one action at a time. And the people who win, the people who rise to the top, they are the ones who become obsessed with progress. Not the finish line, not the $1 million payday, not the applause, the fame, or the luxury. They fall in love with the process. While most people sit around waiting for the right moment, the ultra-successful are already moving. They aren't controlled by emotion. They aren't waiting for inspiration. They have trained themselves to crave results, no matter how small. Because here's the secret. Small wins compound into unstoppable momentum. Every single day, every little action, whether it's reading, learning, practicing, failing, it stacks up over time. And when others quit because they don't see results, the elite keep going because they know the results are coming. So let me ask you, what are you doing today to move forward? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. What skill are you improving? What weakness are you eliminating? What decision are you making that your future self will thank you for? Most people wait until they feel like it. You move regardless. You show up no matter what. You execute even when it's inconvenient. You take action even when the results aren't instant. Because the people at the top, they don't rely on hype. They don't chase shortcuts. They don't obsess over some magical moment of success. They just keep building. They move 1% forward every single day. And over time, that 1% turns into an empire. So make a decision. Are you going to sit around waiting for motivation? Or are you going to get addicted to progress? Because the second you choose relentless forward motion, success becomes inevitable. Lesson 5. Always be learning. The moment you think you know everything, you've already lost. The weak think they have it all figured out. They assume they've learned enough, read enough, experienced enough. And that arrogance, that ignorance, it's exactly why they stay small. But the people at the top, the billionaires, the empire builders, the ones who dominate every industry they touch, they never stop learning. Ever. They are obsessed with new information. They seek out new skills. They hunt for knowledge that sharpens their edge. Because they understand one brutal truth. The second you stop growing, you start dying. Most people let their ego block their progress. They reject feedback. They ignore new ideas. They only listen to people who tell them what they want to hear. And what happens? They stay the same. Their income stays the same. Their mindset stays the same. Their life never changes. But the elite? They do the opposite. They surround themselves with people who are smarter than them. They seek out mentors, devour books, and treat every conversation as an opportunity to sharpen their mind. Because success isn't about what you already know. It's about how fast you can adapt. Ask yourself, when was the last time you learned something that challenged you? When was the last time you took advice from someone who has what you want? When was the last time you let go of an outdated belief to make room for a new, more powerful one? If you're not constantly learning, you're falling behind. And in a world that moves this fast, you don't have the luxury of standing still. So make a choice. Will you let your ego keep you average? Will you stay stuck, convinced that you already know enough? Or will you humble yourself, stay hungry, and become a student of success for life? Because the people who never stop learning are the ones who never stop winning. Lesson 7. Purpose in the process. Most people dream of success. They want the wealth, the power, the freedom. But when it comes to the work, the long, repetitive, unglamorous grind, they burn out. Why? Because they see the process as a chore. They want the rewards, but they have no connection to the journey. They grind, but they don't understand why. They see the daily effort as meaningless tasks, instead of stepping stones toward something greater. And that's why they fail. Because the truth is, success isn't about hype. It's about consistency. And consistency is impossible without purpose. Billionaires, empire builders, the ultra-successful, they don't just grind for the sake of grinding. They don't waste energy on empty hustle. They attach meaning to every action, every email, every meeting, every late night, every sacrifice. It all connects back to a bigger vision, a bigger mission, a higher purpose. And that is exactly what you must do. Because the reality is, success isn't always exciting. Most of it is boring. Most of it is repetitive. Most of it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over without seeing immediate results. But if you have a purpose, if you know exactly why every action matters, you won't stop. You won't need motivation. You won't look for shortcuts, because you'll be driven by something deeper than hype. So ask yourself, why are you doing this? What is the vision behind your grind? What is your ultimate purpose, your mission, the thing that makes every step worth it? If you don't have an answer, find one. Because without purpose, you will break. You will get distracted. You will quit. But when you connect every action to your bigger goal, when you see every small step as a critical move toward your empire, then consistency becomes effortless. And the people who stay consistent, they are the ones who win. Lesson 6. Give and you shall receive. Most people chase success with one question in mind. What can I get? How much money can I make? How many deals can I close? How much can I take from the world? And that's exactly why they stay broke. Because the truth is, wealth doesn't flow to those who take. It flows to those who give. Look at the billionaires, the empire builders, the power players at the top. They didn't get rich by hoarding, by manipulating, by taking as much as possible and giving nothing in return. No. They became successful because they created massive value. They solved problems. They built things people needed. They contributed to the world in a way that made them impossible to ignore. And because of that, the world rewarded them with wealth, power, and influence. Here's what you need to understand. Money follows value. The more problems you solve, the more wealth you attract. The more impact you create, the more success flows to you. This is why the richest people don't waste time chasing money. They focus on creating so much value that money becomes a byproduct. So let me ask you, what are you giving? What skill? What service? What knowledge do you have that can change someone's life? What problem can you solve that is so valuable? People will pay anything for it. What can you do so well, so effectively, that money becomes an afterthought? Most people operate with a taker's mindset, and that's why they fail. They guard their knowledge. They hold back their value. They hesitate, waiting for someone to pay them before they give anything. And in doing so, they cut themselves off from the very thing they desire most. But the elite, the ones who make it to the top, they give first, they create first, they serve first, they solve first. Because they understand this fundamental rule of power: the more you give, the more you get. So stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like a producer. Stop thinking like a taker. Start thinking like a giver. And watch how quickly the doors of success swing open for you. Lesson 8. Momentum is everything. Most people fail, not because they don't have talent, not because they aren't capable, but because they start and stop. They get excited, push hard for a few weeks, maybe even a few months. Then life happens. They slow down, they get distracted, they lose motivation, and then they reset, back to square one, and they wonder why success always seems out of reach. Let me tell you why. Momentum is the most powerful force in success, and most people kill it before it can take over. Billionaires, the ultra-successful, they don't let momentum die. They protect it. They feed it. They do everything in their power to keep it going, because they understand one thing most people don't. Success doesn't come from a massive push once in a while. It comes from relentless consistency over time. Momentum is like a flywheel. At first, it takes everything you've got just to get it moving. It's heavy, slow, resistant. Every action feels like it barely makes a difference. But if you keep pushing, something changes. The wheel starts moving faster. It requires less effort to keep going. And before you know it, your progress carries itself forward. That's why the rich get richer. The successful become even more successful, because they've built unstoppable momentum. And that's what you must do. You can't afford to stop. Every time you pause your progress, you're not just taking a break, you're resetting your momentum. And the price? Time, energy, growth, all of it wasted. So whatever you do, don't stop, even on the hard days, even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when doubt creeps in. Do something to keep the wheel turning, because once momentum is on your side, you become unstoppable. Lesson 9. Laser focus. Most people work hard. Most people put in effort, but they fail anyway. Not because they're lazy, not because they're not capable, but because they spread themselves too thin. They chase too many goals. They try to master too many things at once. They split their energy, their attention, their time, until nothing they do makes an impact. And then they wonder why they never break through. Let me tell you something. Billionaires don't do everything. They do the right things. They cut out the noise. They eliminate distractions. They lock in on what actually moves the needle, and they attack it relentlessly. Because success isn't about doing more. It's about doing less, with extreme precision. Most people live in a constant state of distraction. Their minds are scattered, jumping from one thing to another, drowning in a sea of endless options. And distraction, it's the enemy of power. Focus is what separates the elite from the average. Focus is what turns small actions into massive results. Focus is what takes someone from good to unstoppable. So let me ask you, what's the one thing that, if accomplished, would change everything for you? Not 10 things, not 5 things. 1. Find it. Make it your obsession. Cut out everything else. Because if you keep dividing your energy, you will never break through. But if you lock in, eliminate the excess, and attack your goal with ruthless precision, there is nothing that can stop you. Lesson 10. Small moves. Big wins. Most people never start. They look at their goals, their dreams, their ambitions, and they freeze. The mountain seems too high. The gap between where they are and where they want to be feels impossible. So they do what weak minds always do. They hesitate. They procrastinate. They overthink. They tell themselves they'll start when the time is right. And before they know it, years have passed. But the ones who make it to the top, the billionaires, the empire builders, they don't let complexity stop them. They don't let the size of the dream paralyze them. They break it down. They take the next smallest step, the one so small, so simple, that failure isn't even an option. Because they know something most people don't. Big wins are built on small moves. Most people believe success comes from one massive leap, one lucky break, one life-changing moment. That's a lie. Success is built inch by inch, day by day, step by step. A business isn't built in a day. It's built one conversation, one deal, one decision at a time. A fortune isn't made overnight. It's made one investment, one risk, one strategic move at a time. A powerful body isn't created in a week. It's shaped by one meal, one workout, one rep at a time. And the only people who win are the ones who start. So here's your challenge. Take your goal, the one that feels massive, overwhelming, too big to handle, and shrink it. Reduce it to something so small, so simple, that you can do it right now. Want to build a business? Make one call. Want to get stronger? Do 10 push-ups. Want to master a skill? Read one page. Then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. Because the trick to success isn't making one massive move. It's making sure you never stop moving. And if you keep moving forward, even an inch at a time, you will become unstoppable. To those of you who have been with us since the beginning, thank you. You are the ones who refuse to settle, the ones who demand more from life, and the ones who understand that success is earned, never given. Your hunger, your drive, and your commitment to leveling up are what fuel this movement. And if you're new here, welcome. This isn't just another motivational channel. This is a movement, a rebellion against weakness, a system designed to forge warriors, mentally, financially, and physically. If you're ready to break free from mediocrity, if you're ready to stop watching others win and start taking what's yours, if you refuse to let this be just another video that fades into the background of your life, then hit subscribe. Join the GrimFace movement. Because this is just the beginning. The war for your future has already started, and the only question left is, are you in or are you out? The choice is yours. But for those who are ready to step up, to take action, to play by the rules that guarantee success, welcome to the next level. Now go make your move.